At least, and maybe because it's a much more comprehensive buyout by Microsoft versus a smaller company like 343 Studios that makes Halo. Because I've always viewed, like, you know, Xbox and Phil Spencer's stance, at least publicly, is that we just want you to make us money. We don't care what you do. We don't care who you're doing it with. Just make us money and that's it. So I do find it surprising that this happened. But also, you know, this is a huge acquisition. And how much is Bethesda worth as a company? I don't know. Does anybody know offhand? $1? Well, I don't know about that. 8 billion, right? 8 billion dollars, right? Okay, so it's a very big company, right? And so, but it's not 70 billion. So with these smaller studios that pretty much retain their leadership, Activision Blizzard is almost at like a partnership level with Microsoft. So of course they're going to probably try and do that. So I understand it, but at the same time, I didn't expect it. But it's also not surprising. It's like it's a 60-40 thing. I didn't think it would happen, but now that it is happening, it's like, yeah, okay, sure. So we got a guy, this is a dude, he got laid off from Blizzard customer service. Just wanted to say, despite what y'all thought of us, it's been a pleasure helping those who I could. So here's the reality. Starry-eyed 25-year-old. I'm a 36-year-old neckbeard. Jesus Christ. This reminded me that Throne of Thunder... Has it really already been 11? Oh my god, it's been 11. Bro, I remember... Throne of Thunder was 11 years ago? I feel like it was like 5 years ago. No, it was like 7. It was like 7 years ago. Like, what? What? How's it that far away? Oh my god. I was going hardcore on Pandaria? Yeah, dude, I was. I was going hard as a motherfucker, man. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I'm kind of like, what the fuck? I remember when Asmon contacted us because his undead slang gear from Wrath of the Lich King event, it caused such an uproar in the WoW community. It was funny as fuck. I actually heard, and I know this guy probably can't confirm this, but I heard from an anonymous source that the fact that the GM gave me my stuff back caused like tens of thousands of dollars of tickets of other people trying to send in tickets to get their stuff back. And then they had to like make some sort of like a fucking announcement. Don't ever give him anything ever again. Never give him anything, because if he gets something, then everybody else is going to want it, and suddenly now everybody's going to be getting tickets. So yeah, it's the biggest mistake. It was, but it was great content, to be fair. And so yeah, over the years I grew more jaded as the policies changed. I still overall enjoyed my job. Well, I mean, look, I mean, this is what Pirate Software said. This is what a lot of people said working at Blizzard, is that the company's policies for, what's the word for it? For like efficiency were not good. Basically, the people that designed the efficiency policies were bad. They didn't know what they were doing. And because of that, it ruined customer service. Because it's easy to say, like, there are GMs that I got that were garbage, but there are also GMs that I got that were good. And so if I fire CS whenever they have almost no CS, well, it's because they can have AI or bots do it. That's really the reason why. And so performance metrics. Well, here's really what the problem is. So if you have a performance metric, the issue with that is that every single ticket is not the same. So I'm going to use an example with like whenever I worked at the IRS. So you guys can assume that like whenever I file my taxes, it's this thick, okay? I have a lot of things to file with my taxes. So if I get that tax document, I have to go through that and figure out what's going on, right? I have to go through the pages, etc. But, you know, compare that to somebody who is like a McDonald's employee or somebody who just simply works a regular job and doesn't donate to charity or doesn't do, you know, they don't own any businesses. They don't have any business expenses. They just simply drive to work and go back home. That's it, right? And so that is, you know, it's like 2 or 3 pages, right? And so that's very simple. So guess what happens? People end up not giving certain things the amount of credibility and the amount of attention that they deserve, because those people don't want to lose the game of keeping their job. And so this is what the problem is, right? W-2 taxes take 10 minutes. Right, yeah, but like if you have like mine were really complicated for like 10 different reasons, right? And like if you have crypto, then it's like, oh my god, it's way more, right? Because like they're looking at that way more now, at least according to like what my accounting firm told me. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that a whole lot. What I'm saying is that whenever you create a system that gives you points and effectively gamifies a job, you have people that try to beat the game and not do their job. So what happens is that you have GMs that are trying to not have an interaction with a player because having an interaction with a player will take longer. So because they're being graded on how fast can they do a ticket, it's not in their best interest to give you a comprehensive experience, a comprehensive customer service experience. And is that really their fault? I mean, like, yes and no, right? It's like they are a cog in the machine, and fundamentally they didn't make the machine. They're just simply there. And some of them, the machine is put on them. They worked there originally, they were doing great work, this gets changed, and now they have to do things differently or they risk losing their job. So whenever you see a person like that, because the truth is that the guy who gave me my blessed battle gear of undead slaying, he was right. He should have given me that back because I had it on my account. And if I delete something on my account and they have record that I had it, I should be able to get it back. Logically, right? Like, that's what's fair. I mean, that's why you have item restoration, naturally. So the guy, and this is what's so fucked up about it, right? You deleted it. I did delete it, but we have item restoration in the game. That's a service that GMs provide. Naturally, right? So if it's a service that GMs provide, then why can't I receive this service for an item that I had? Naturally, right? And so the GM that helped me fucking like went above and beyond. He did the thing that everybody tells a story 10 years from now. Fuck, it's 5 years already I'm telling a story, and I'll be telling it probably in 5 years as well. He did the thing that makes people remember big dick GMs 10 years after they don't play the game anymore. He did the thing right then. And I bet he got in trouble for it. And how do we fix this? How do you fix this? Do you want to know the real way to fix it? So the real way to fix it is to have people that are in management positions that are competent enough in the job that their employees do. How many of you guys have had a problem with an employee, or sorry, with a boss because the boss didn't understand your job? The boss is telling you to do something, you're explaining to them that it's not true, or it doesn't work. Me, right? We've all had this. Everybody's had this. So whenever everybody has had this experience, and this is also not even the boss's fault, by the way, because oftentimes they get promoted to this position by somebody else that's not even them. Like, they should never have been there in the first place. It's like the Peter principle, where people that keep getting promoted until they become incompetent, and that's why they stop getting promoted. So you always have incompetent managers, right? And so you have this, like, it's a defined thing. There's a term for it. So that's number one, right? You have to have leadership that understands, respects, and fully has a comprehensive understanding of the process that their employees go through. Because if the the manager doesn't have an understanding of the process, they can never reverse engineer who's doing what wrong. And I'll give you an example that a lot of you guys would probably be able to resonate with.
Next time, I want you to come in me. Got it?
Right? Have you ever had like a raid leader that knows their shit so well that they can figure out who exactly is fucking up and how by just looking at the logs? We've all had this, right? Yeah, and it's fucking amazing, isn't it? I used to try to do that myself, right? And that person is what's going to cause you to guess wiki. Yep, that's right. No frog, no prog. And the real ones remember. And so anyway, this kind of stuff really mattered a lot. And for these kinds of people, they added so much value because of their knowledge and skill. But have you ever had a raid leader who didn't fucking know any of that stuff and just yelled at people and got mad at people for things they didn't even do? Yes, right? It makes it miserable. So we've all had an experience that's similar to this. Even if we haven't had this at a job, we all know kind of what this experience is sort of like, right? And so whenever you have a person who is in a position of authority who doesn't understand what the people's job is, then they're a fucking idiot and they're going to ruin everything, basically. And then the second thing is that a lot of these companies employ efficiency experts, and the efficiency experts don't have a comprehensive understanding of how a job is done. And so the problem with that is that they look at something analytically from a series of numbers. The Bobs, right? Exactly. It was my dad. And my dad did this because like he would talk to me about it all the time. That's why I have the viewpoint on it that I do, because like he's told me about this like many times over many years. And so whenever you have somebody who designs an efficiency process and they don't do it with the insight of understanding the process itself, they just look at the numbers in an abstract, which is what these people do. They say each ticket on average should take 6 minutes, so every ticket should take 6 minutes. But that's not the way that it works. And so also, whenever you create a numerical grading system for performance, and then everybody is aware of that system at all times, people don't try to perform at their job, they try to perform at the system. I'm going to give you another great analogy for this. Parsing in WoW. People are trying to parse on the performance reports instead of actually doing their job. And that's what happens. That's it, they're parsing. They're playing the KPI game. Yes, KPI, key performance indicators. And so they're hitting the points that the management wants them to hit, right? And so that's why CS is bad. Are there bad customer service representatives? Absolutely. Are there customer service representatives that don't try as hard as they should? Absolutely. Are there people who are lazy? Absolutely. Are there people who are incompetent? Absolutely. But I think that there would be a lot less of those people, and the people that remained, it would be easier to remove them and replace them with people that were, because I believe, right, this is just something I believe, I think that if you have a positive, efficient, and just successful workforce, that in itself is inspiring. Like, I remember, for example, whenever we were like really like fucking hard and like, you know, just like down bad, like everybody was like super busy. Whenever I worked at the IRS, we actually had one, it wasn't our manager, okay, it was the other manager, came over, and he actually came out because he used to work at our job. And he started working and doing the stuff, the exact same shit that we did, so we would finish in time. And like at that day, everybody was working. Nobody was on their phone. Nobody was complaining because he was working along with everybody else. And I think that really like bad work environments and toxic work environments create bad employees. Now, bad employees exist, but let's say you have like a natural existence of 10, and a good work environment will create 5, and a bad work environment will create 20. That's basically what happens. So that's why CS is garbage at Blizzard. There it is. That's what causes it. And so they are canceling the entire Blizzard survival game. Like the total massive Blizzard survival game is getting canceled. It's done. It's finished. Years down the drain. Not years, 6 years. 6 years down the drain. Pissed away. Do you want to know what my opinion is about that? My opinion is that I think that if we had seen the game and we had played it, we would have understood why it got canceled. Most of the products that Blizzard has made recently have been bad products. Dragonflight has a lot of good gameplay, but it lacks the edge and the texture that WoW used to have. The story is for safe modern pussies, and I think that it's lost the attention of a lot of people like me. And I think that also, here's the worst part, WoW is doing the best. Overwatch did something that so few games ever accomplish. It killed people's hope for the future of the game. Because everybody who hates WoW can always imagine a world where it's better. But Overwatch literally killed any hope for a future for this game. Made a lot of 3D porn. Yeah, it probably made more money through 3D porn than the actual game. But the point is that obviously it's, nobody gives a shit about the game, right? It's a dead game. It's not even a dead game. It's just that it's no longer going to grow. It's not going to get any bigger. It's just like it is what it is, right? Unless they make Overwatch 3 or some sort of like other big difference. And so basically that's what happened. It peaked. And so there's that. Diablo 4. Let's look at Diablo 4. Let's look at the subreddit. The most popular comment on Diablo 4: the dev team needs to be replaced. So you even have the Reddit that's talking about how the dev team needs to be replaced. And then the next day, be careful what you wish for. And let me guess, all the people at the top are getting raises. Well, no, Mike Ybarra is gone. And so not all the people, but I don't know, is Rod Ferguson there? Is David Shelley there? I don't know. Should they be there? I don't know what their role is. I'm not sure. So, yeah, it's hard to say. Layoffs suck. Sorry to those impacted. If I'm being brutally honest, though, I secretly hope this axes the Diablo Season 1 and Season 3 team. I'm sorry, and I hope they were laid off for two contradictory statements. Well, I don't really think so. Like, you can feel bad for, like, for example, I feel bad for people who, who end up ruining their lives. Like, somebody gets drunk, they're driving, they hit somebody, maybe they don't kill them, but they just injure them and they go to jail for 20 years. I feel bad for that person because they made a stupid decision that's going to ruin their life. Like, I can feel bad for them on an empathetic level, but I'm glad they're in jail. Fuck them. That's right. So, yeah, I understand. No, I think that's normal, right? I mean, yeah, sure. I can put myself in their shoes and understand how they feel. Of course. But I also can put them in jail. That's what we're going to do. Imagine not being pro-drunk driving. That's going to be whenever Hunter Biden runs for president in 20 years. His campaign slogan is going to be crack down on crime, and he's going to be pro-drunk driving. He wants to get rid of it as a crime. That way we don't have to arrest people for it anymore. Laugh all you want, but one day it'll be true. Yeah, undead president, exactly. And so, anyway, yeah, there you go. And with our luck, it axes Season 2 team. Yeah, there you go. I can't imagine how this is particularly encouraging for the growth and development of Diablo 4 going forward. And what was it the day before yesterday? Was that encouraging? Layoffs will continue until morale improves. This is not surprising. Yep, any merger and acquisition will always have some redundancy that leads to layoff. That's usually the way it goes, absolutely. Blizzard has proven to have too many useless positions in the company. This is not necessarily a bad thing. It's hard to know why people got fired, and I think that the truth is that the market for survival games is so agile that I don't really see how Blizzard can compete in it. Like, look at something like Palworld. Palworld can come out so quickly, twice as fast as Blizzard's game comes out. They talk about patch notes that add raid bosses. And people love the game. So how is it that Blizzard can compete with that? And that's really the question, right? How can Blizzard possibly compete with that? Look at Enshrouded. Enshrouded, you can dig holes. You can use magic. You can use a bow and arrow. You can use a weapon. Like, I played the game for like an hour, and I thought it was fucking amazing. So whenever I go and look at, I mean, like, obviously, we're talking about two survival games, but like, look at World of Warcraft versus Final Fantasy. Look at how many things Final Fantasy was able to add, and Final Fantasy is also a very big game. Let's make a better example. That's the worst example I can make. Here's a better example. Path of Exile. I mean, come on. It is what it is, right, guys? It is what it is. And so, GGG equals GigaChad, GigaChad, GigaChad. Yeah, there you go, man. And BOE 2 this year. Well, I mean, we'll see if it comes out this year, but, we'll be able to play it this year. And there it is. And so, no one's paid to make good games. Well, the point is that you should not be surprised. Like, we can argue and debate on whether the people that got fired should have been fired. The answer, though, that everybody, I think we all know, is that none of us really know the answer to who really should have been fired or not, right? Like, we don't know if Mike Ybarra should have left. We don't know if Adam Adham should have left. We don't know if the other people should have left. We really don't know that. But here's what I do know. I know that this is a company that has had over 10 years of garbage product offerings with one light at the end of the tunnel, with Overwatch 1, that they did their best to stomp out, and they did so very successfully with Overwatch 2. So you look at a company that has, again, a consumer product that they're going to market with for 10 years and failing continuously, over and over and over. They should be lucky and happy that it wasn't more people. That's what I think. Hearthstone didn't fail. My understanding is that Hearthstone is in a very bad position. Am I out of touch? It's on life support. It's difficult to say. I'm gonna look it up. I'll look it up on Google Trends. All right. So basically, if you look right here, I would say that Diablo 4 had like this massive spike. Isn't this incredible? I didn't realize that the release of Diablo 4 was so big. And so if you look at it, especially over the past like 2004, you'll see that a lot of these games, right? You look at, for example, the yellow, which is Overwatch. Overwatch has gone down substantially over the years. And I would also argue that the majority of online discourse about Overwatch right now is about how bad the game is and not really about the game itself. World of Warcraft, ironically, is actually doing better than almost any of these other games. And the reason why I think it's pretty obvious is because of Classic WoW and because retail WoW is a product made for the people who enjoy it. Now, that product might not necessarily be for me as much anymore, but for the people who enjoy it, they're happy. And this is also for the United States. So let's go ahead and look at worldwide. You're right. I didn't check on that. I should have. So we're seeing about the same trend. But, again, like a lot of these games have kind of gone down. Look at the blue. The blue is Hearthstone. Hearthstone has gone down massively. Like, let's get a little bit, let's look at the past 5 years. We'll see if there's still a Jesus, it's so low. I'm going to take Diablo off of this because it's just, it fucks up the other ones, okay? Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. So, if you look, obviously it's just, these graphs are going down. Like, besides WoW, it's going down. So, and it's not going down it's not that bad, right? It's really not. But, at the same time, fuck, it's not surprise fizzling out. Yeah, it is. Like, these games are on life support. It's like all of these games are on life support. Now show Pal World. Well, we can look at a million different games, but my point is, besides this, that all of these different games are not really doing very well. And this is an observable trend that I'm seeing. Now, am I wrong about this trend? Am I misinterpreting this data? Maybe I am in some way, but this is something I'm not aware of. Like, so tell me if there's a way I'm wrong, because I have no fucking idea. Innovate or fade to dust, yeah. And so this is what happens. It reads as alarming, but the reality is it's inevitable in these scenarios. I've been part of several company buyouts and mergers, and there's always redundancy and duplication between roles that results in layoffs. Yeah, but Adam and Adham and Ybarra were not redundant roles, though. Yeah, they were. They're redundant because Microsoft is going to be in charge now. So why do we need them to be in charge whenever Microsoft is going to be in charge? They're the most redundant. Because, there's going to be miscommunications. Like, Microsoft is going to say one thing, they're going to say something else. It's like, okay, that's it, right? And so it makes sense. Just want Activision and King Game Studio and the Blizzard IPs. The Blizzard studios suck. Well, people at Activision were let go as well. It wasn't just that. Google Trends only represent searching and browser result. It doesn't mean the state of the player base. You're right about that, but I bet there's a trend between interest in a game and players playing the game. I bet there is. I've got a crazy fucking notion in my mind that I think that there's a correlation there. But you are correct that it's not one-to-one. You're very correct about that. Anyway, let's go back. We're going to read some more posts that people have made about this. Let's see if I can find it. And fucking hell, Microsoft laying off 1,900 Activision Blizzard Xbox employees. There it is. Well, there goes WoW. I think WoW is probably going to be the only ones that isn't removed. In a memo of the cancellation of a survival game was framed as a redeploying of resources. From the perspective of someone on that team, that seems like the entire team is being laid off. So this is a person who was working at the Blizzard survival game. The entire survival team just got laid off. I'll be radio silent while I sort out and feel my emotions before I find out what's next. I loved working on the project with my team. It's one of the best things I ever did with my career. I'm only sorry no one will get to see it. And you can imagine like how disappointing and sad that is, right? You invest 5 years of your life, 3 years of your life into something, and it's like, yeah, I really worked so hard on this. Can I see it? No, because it doesn't exist. I mean, fuck. Jason Schreier wrote an article about the game. So this is exactly what he said, and we'll go ahead and we'll read it here. Blizzard boss Mike Ybarra is out. Adam Haddam, as company's founder, is leaving the company. Odyssey, the survival game, been in development for 6 years, is canceled. People at the impacted companies tell me that as of right now, they don't know who are losing their jobs. That's right. It is the Thanos snap for pretty much every single one of these game companies. Bloomberg story will be updated as we learn more. Microsoft's Matt Booty, good one, said in a note that Ybarra chose to leave his position as president of Blizzard, but in November of BlizzCon, Ybarra told me that he wanted to stay for the long haul. Someone will drag me out of Blizzard, Mike Ybarra said. That's how long I will be here. Well, yeah, I think that's probably what happened metaphorically. And so, yeah. And also things can change. Obviously, you know, like maybe his, you know, something in his personal life changed him, and that's why he left. There could be a lot of reasons. And so, yeah, we'll see if there's any more updates here, and I'll take a look at it. Any updates? Sounds paragraph and timing of current earnings. Okay. No, we're not really seeing any updates yet. Microsoft cancels new Blizzard video game, and this is about the game here. And we can talk about, and they said that they canceled, by the way, the game Odyssey, which was the survival game. They said they canceled it as part of a focus on projects that hold the most promise for future growth. So they basically decided that, you know, the survival game just didn't have a lot of growth potential. And I think that they're probably right. I think they're probably right. Like, no new IP risk? Yeah. Here's why I think that they're right. The reason why I think they're right is because the survival genre is a weird middle ground between like indie, like Metroidvania, small, like, you know, like single slice games and like big AAA games. Like you have a lot of like single A and double A games that are survival games, and those games are so much more agile and they can create content so much faster than a big company like Blizzard can. How can Blizzard possibly operate in that space and be a legitimate competitor? How can they do that? Because I don't know. They're too slow. Yeah, I think they're too slow. And again, we talk about too slow and then people are mentioning Valheim, right? But, you know, my point is still the same. Just buy them. That's what they should do. Like, if I was Blizzard, I would try to buy one of these big survival games and then try to manage it and empower the people that are making it to be even better, right? Take something like V Rising, or like a game that's like really, it's a really well-made game, but it just doesn't have like I feel like it doesn't have the juice that it deserves to have, right? And so there it is, by Left 4 Dead. Yeah, something like that. The marketing, whatever it is. Yeah, they don't have the marketing. Yeah, I mean, like we had the guys on for a, what do you call it? For an all-craft, right? Back whenever I did that. But that was a long time ago. And that's just how it is. yeah, Dark and Darker, something like that. They can buy them from Nexon. And so anyway, yeah. And so this is disappointing. Technical issues surrounding the engine or sweet tools technology developers use to construct a game. According to people familiar with the process, Odyssey was originally prototyped on the popular Unreal Engine from Epic Games, but Blizzard executives decided to switch because it wouldn't support their ambitions for vast maps supporting up to 100 players at once. And Blizzard is right. I think that, you know, that's probably the right decision. And also, like, why is it not supporting that? Because I feel like a lot of games are able to. But I don't really know that probably is better as well as they do. Use Synapse, the internal engine the company had originally developed for mobile games. So it probably had like more of a stylistic vibe to it. And so, yeah, people who played the early version of the game enjoyed it and thought there was a lot of potential in the market for a survival game that hit Blizzard's bar for quality. Well, what would you say Blizzard's bar for quality is? What would that mean? What do you mean by that? Oh, you mean a ground? Yeah, there you go. And so that's the problem, is that the quality of the games are not very good. And to be fair, guys, I want to make sure one thing is very clear, that we made jokes about Blizzard quality in Wrath of the Lich King, okay? Like, we have been memeing and shitting on Blizzard for like 20 years. But the problem is that now there are Google trends that we could be like, yeah, see? You see that? See, so look at the graph. It says, see, I told you I was right. That's the difference. Yeah, now it's real. It's not a meme anymore. There you go. It's not a meme. Yeah, words drain our quality. Yeah, that was the beginning, right? And so, yeah, a lot of people lost their job, and it's really sad, and it's also not surprising. The truth is that, I mean, we're seeing, like, Riot did layoffs, what was it, yesterday? No, it was the day before. Riot laid off, was it 500 people? And Activision Blizzard is laying off almost 2,000. The reality is that I think that tech, again, is maturing to a state where for the longest time with tech, I think that people were just kind of ever expanding horizons. Like the future kept getting bigger and the future kept getting bigger and it got bigger and bigger. And then after the last 5 years, I feel like it stopped getting as much bigger. It stopped. It peaked. Yeah, it peaked, exactly. And that's not a bad thing. It's not. But it's just the reality. And so what happened to OpenAI? Well, that's a different type of technology. And that's why everybody's trying to invest into it. So you're seeing these companies that were hiring for these continuous 20% year-over-year growth, growths in revenue and like profit and everything. And guess what happens? Well, that stops happening. And then all of those people that they built for having a ship that's going to be 20% bigger, 5 years in a row. So that's like 260% or something like that, or 160%, way, way bigger. Well, guess what happens? Well, you don't need all those people. When you look at the categories, the people that are being laid off, yeah, they had it coming and they deserve it for all these years of bad content. The market decides what people deserve. They decide what people are worth, for better or for worse. I made that very clear with the AI stuff, and I made that very clear with my defense of the Prince of Persia game. I thought it was a great game, and I disliked the idea that people said that it was cheap because it followed a paradigm that many indie games use, which is the Metroidvania paradigm. I thought people were being very unfair. But at the end of the day, does my opinion matter? No. Because nobody bought the game. And whenever I say nobody, I don't mean nobody. A lot of people bought the game. And the sad thing about it is all of the people who I talked to, actually, I didn't really talk to anybody about the game. I just read people's posts about it. Everybody who talked about the game that I saw said it was good. So it's like, oh, this sucks, right? It's like, okay, well, everybody who I'm talking to and I see is saying the game's good. And it's like, fuck, man. But then the public just doesn't. The public says, no, bad. But it's good, bad. But look at it's bad. But look at it, it's got good game. No, bad game. Look, you see mobile game, it's mobile game. Bad. It's bad. Don't want it. Too much money. But you said you wanted games that weren't as big. No, bad game, too small, small game, bad game, bad. And does it really matter what my opinion is? No, it doesn't. Because the market decides, not me. And it's sad. It really is sad. The shutdown of Overwatch League. Oh, I forgot all about this. Why didn't I talk about this? Overwatch League canceled. Okay. So we've got one right here. 1 second. And how much overhead in terms of management do you think there is for Blizzard? I don't know. I'm not sure. And thank you, Overwatch League. I don't want to read the whole thing. Officially over as teams vote for exit, right? So basically Overwatch League is done. They completely canceled it. It's gone. It's done. Canceled, done, finished, deleted, yeeted. And this came out 2 or 3 days ago. I missed out on it, but there it is. Now, why did Overwatch League die? I'm going to tell you why. Because nobody watched it. That's the reason. Nobody watched the show. It wasn't making any money. And so they canceled the league. It's really not that complicated. It's because of money, right? It's because of money. But why is it because of money? It's because of money because nobody watches the show. Because you can't get anybody to give you money if nobody looks at the advertisements that they gave you money to have people look at. Just... Oh, bro, I'm sure I'm going to get a hate thread about that one too. And anyway, so yeah, a lot of people are mad about this. Too much emphasis on making it IRL sports. Yeah, but I think that is a reason why it was stupid. But Overwatch League was successful despite that. Why was it successful despite that? Because people watched it. And oh, we're gonna go even farther. Why did people watch it? Because people played it. And that's what changed, isn't it? That's what happened. So people stopped playing the game. So people stopped being interested in the game. So people stopped watching the game because they're not keeping up with the metas. And then because nobody's watching the game, the company can't make any money with it, right? They were engaged with the game. It was because of XQC. XQC was a very popular, really big player, but Overwatch League was massive, and it was part of many different people. Obviously, like now, XQC is one of the most popular people, but I remember whenever XQC got kicked out of Overwatch League. I remember the day that it happened. And he fucking had on, he had his stream, it was like this, he was sitting in his old room, and it was whenever he told somebody to suck a dick or something like that, and they kicked him out, and he had like 4 or 7K viewers. Because I watched the stream myself live. It was a really big deal, but he wasn't the only big name in Overwatch. Especially not then. He's by far the biggest now, but back then that wasn't the case. I was there. No, excuse me, yeah, and he would just play. Yeah, it was a big stream at the time too. Yeah, that was his biggest stream. That's the thing. It's like this drama. And I remember thinking to myself, like, bro, like, he's doing it right. You know, like, he's doing it right. He's farming it. And it's like, because I was thinking, oh, man, like, you know, this is going to, like, maybe fuck up his career or something. And then, like, he immediately fucking goes live and starts farming it, bro. And people are subbing like fucking crazy, supporting him. They're like, yeah, bro, that guy does, bro, the whole Overwatch League sucks dick, man. Like, what do you mean? It's not just him. They all do. And so, yeah, he farmed the drama. Exactly. And I was like, yeah, that's the right thing to do. And so, anyway, because I remember I defended him. I thought that the way that people were characterizing him was just absolutely, totally fucking unfair, right? And so, anyway, you know, that's Overwatch League was really big. Obviously, it had big names in it. Of course, it had big names in it. But why did it have the big names? It had the big names because people liked watching the game, and so they're looking for people that are good at the game to watch. And so it's a symbiotic relationship. It's the same reason why nowadays there are no really big retail WoW PvP streamers. Do you know why? Because nobody gives a fuck about retail WoW. Back in the day, Rekful and Mitch were fucking massive. Now, were they massive because they were entertaining? Sure they are. But you know who else is entertaining? Peekaboo and Zaryu. They're really entertaining. They're great. But guess what happens? there's not the audience there to support them and turn them into 20K streamers like, in my opinion, they deserve. So that's what I think. It's about an ecosystem. That's why Zara went full classic. It is. I remember getting farmed by Zaryu all the time in RBGs. I remember if I saw him in the other team, I was going, fuck. You know, because he had like he always had the best teams. It was crazy. Peekaboo doing his play-by-plays, he shits on kids, is one of the funniest things ever. Yes, and he's such a skilled player. It's like, if people were able to recognize that skill for what it truly is, like, I wish, because, like, the problem with WoW players is that somebody like Peekaboo or Zico or Venruki or Zaryu, they are so good, you don't even know how good they are. Like, you have no fucking idea how good these guys are at the game. And because of that, nobody can really even appreciate it. You forgot Sony. Sony's insane too. He is. Waz, yeah, Waz too. Waz does have a big ego, but he's a great player. It's good to have people with big egos. It makes it entertaining. Remember Idra? That's who I remember from StarCraft 2. Idra and Destiny. Like, I don't remember a lot of the other people because they weren't entertaining. You know, fake it. Yeah, there it is. And so Idra was so salty. He was. And we all remember that, right? We all remember that. We think back and we smile. It's fucking funny, right? Because again, like, I'm so sick. Bro, anytime that like there's like a Valorant game and somebody gets teabagged and they're like, oh, well, you know, we can't have that. I mean, this is a serious broadcast. Like, bitch, shut the fuck. It's a video game. Shut the fuck up. Let's have a little bit of fun. But that. Oh my god. Oh, jeez, it's so annoying. Trainwrecks RBGs? Bro. Yes. Oh my god. That was so good. Do you remember that one time that we queued up against ABN and I unmuted after we decided the strategy? And because I had talked to Train while we were muted, and he was like, okay, unmute. I'm gonna say that we're gonna DDoS ABN. And I unmute, and we do this as a joke, right? And he's like, yeah, okay, so we're gonna hit him offline after the second card. And then I'm like, okay, all right, for sure, man. All right, I'm gonna unmute now, right? And then we just played it off like it was nothing. And like after a week, everybody just assumed that it wasn't a joke. They were like, bro, Train's a DDoSer. He literally admitted to it on stream. Didn't you see Asmon's stream? Nobody ever fucking thought that. Like, they never thought it wasn't a joke. Okay, this is a video people have been spamming for me to watch. Like, it's been crazy you guys want me to watch this for such a long time. Now, I am not a Destiny player. I have never played Destiny. I've watched. There's me right there, and then there's... Today, obviously, the reason... The state of Diablo 4. So Season 3 comes out, and I would say that Season 3 has had the worst reception of any season. Because at least in Season 1, people were hoping that it would get better. Now it's in Season 3, and people aren't so sure anymore.
I'm gonna look at the Reddit. So far, at level 52, this feels worse than Season 1. Jesus. Okay, so this guy doesn't like the season so far. I would have thought that D4 needed more
something like that.
Just slow you down and tiptoe around them with horrible top-down controls. They're not intended for such fine movements. All while the
well, also the hitboxes in the game aren't accurate. Like, I feel like every game should just do what Final Fantasy does, where like your character hitbox is 1 pixel in the middle of your character. And I think this is especially important in online games because in those online games, there are a lot of cases where you're out of something on your screen, but you still get hit by it because of lag. I think give people a little bit of extra room.
And the spell effects obscure your vision of them. And God forbid you're a melee or a shred druid and you have to choose between standing still and not attacking anything or running into traps and hit mobs that killing you from range. Bolts will go down to the worst content of D4 game. Wait, of any D4 game ever.
Mark my words. I really don't like him saying that. Because what if Blizzard reads that and takes it as a challenge? They said, "You think we've peaked?" No, bro. Like we got way more. We got way more gas in the tank, bro. Like we got a lot. bet.
Calm
Yeah.
down, bro. Jesus. They're gonna make worse shit. Vaults. They're the
There
same
it
as
is.
done with the 9 traps less loot in the last room when Lafiti elite.
So is it like a scuffed labyrinth? Are vaults just scuffed labyrinths or what? Maybe this one here? Okay, so here's a vault. Echo of Malphas. That's like a boss. This just looks like a nightmare dungeon. Yeah, this is the same, it's the same area. I don't even know what to say about this. It has traps. So there's more traps. Okay.
They spawn on you. They don't drop loot or XP. LOL! I can't stop laughing about this. I'm so disappointed. I had a really good time with Season 2 and was hoping to keep on the good times rolling. Wait, what are people replying to this thing? The sad thing is I'm having more fun playing Diablo 3 Season 30 recycled content than Diablo.
Jesus. That is sad. Bro, if you are down bad so much that you're playing Diablo 3 still?
D3 Season 30 slaps at the moment.
Oh my god.
Fucking Season 30, let's go. We just had 150
and twos,
and I'm farming our ass off. It's
farming our
amazing. Give
asses off?
D4 12 years and it's fine. Oh, holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
What the fuck?
Take something from PoE that people don't even like, Uber Labs, make it worse and more boring, and we have Season 3 vaults. Yeah, nobody likes labs.
PoE that people don't even like.
Yeah,
Uber
nobody.
Labs make it worse and more boring, and we've got Season 3 vaults. Okay, that's not that bad.
It is bad. You have to do it a lot.
Re-downloaded Diablo 4. Hop on the Diablo 4 Reddit. See if people are liking the new season. Scroll for a few minutes. Uninstall D4. That's a normie sheep. Looks.
Wait, what did you
that's
say?
uninstall
Read down to
D4.
Diablo 4, hop
That's a
on to
normie
using a season. Well, you should try the. No, people are salty as fuck, make it sound 1,000 times worse than it actually is. Obviously, people are going to be more likely to provide negative feedback, but the reason why, like, at the beginning, whenever the game came out, like, if you look at Pow World, I bet a lot of the posts on the Pow World subreddit are positive. I mean, yeah, I bet it's not the worst game ever, but, I mean, shit, guys.
Sheep.
Last Epoch. Yeah, look at Last Epoch. I bet that's probably fine.
Bad as soon as it was announced. Massive step back from Season 2.
Yeah.
On level 29, I'm already bored out of my mind.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
Wow.
It's like, what the fuck?
I guess we wait
This is
for
crazy.
Last
This is not even
Epoch.
sorted by controversial, by the way, chat. This is
Yeah.
literally like just normal comments. These are upvoted comments. Well, I guess we have to wait Last Epoch. Until then, it's back to Power World.
Don't even wait, just get it now. Oh my god. This is so bad.
Look at the devil, chat. Holy
Level 29
shit,
is
look
1
at
hour
this
of
guy.
playing.
Lambo, I guess we should only play the even-numbered seasons.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
It's a classic Star
It's
Trek
like
movies.
classic Star Trek movies. The season is the opposite. The season is completely opposite and painfully unfun. The
A
trap
great
involved
step
is
backwards.
Punishing in a way that is designed to purely waste players' time. I'm not sure
The
my
traps involved in content's punishing in a way that's purely waste their time. Yeah, true. Why did they think that players wanted more traps? I think this is kind of like, this is the problem that people like the Diablo 4 devs have, is that they have an idea of how people are going to play the game. Like, they want people to play dungeons the way they want them to play them. And so they make people play them that way. I think the best example of Blizzard doing this is whenever nobody liked tyrannical Mythic Plus dungeons, Blizzard just made the meta for completing the achievements require you almost to do tyrannical dungeons. So it's like, oh, okay, well, because people aren't doing them, we're just going to make it mandatory, and that'll solve the problem.
but is doing anything while I'm fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that feeling, dude. Of like, you're like, fuck, is it working? Like, is it doing anything?
Yeah.
Like, does that have a cooldown? It's like, is it even attacking? I can't tell. Agree. Clash of shooting stuff on the foot. How many times does the player have to say that we absolutely hate shitty obstacles that just slow us down?
Well, it's just that. Let's be real. Running back and releasing every prisoner whenever getting hit by mobs causes your released cast bar to stop casting. This just isn't really a good time. How did anybody think this was a good time? And it's like they're just so fixated around making people play the game in a way that people don't want to play the game. And this is the problem that I think that people have fundamentally with game development. And like a lot of AAA game development, especially with Blizzard, is that, and that's why, for example, whenever that Pal World CEO guy said, I don't have a vision, I just want to make a game that people like, that's why people were so refreshed by that and happy about it. Is because it's like, fucking finally, you know, this is somebody who just wants to make something and doesn't want to like force some kind of like bullshit on us. And I think that also, like, having bullshit forced on you isn't a bad thing. It's only a bad thing whenever it's bullshit. Like, for example, I bet Baldur's Gate 3 makes you do a ton of annoying shit, but it adds to the texture of the game and it makes it better. And same as Dark Souls.
I'll be honest, the traps aren't even that offensive to me at all. I mean, if it was more rewarding, mate. I feel like I just need to make it more rewarding if people won't complain as much.
Yeah.
They want to Sanctum, but end up with Lab.
Not really. People say no. That's not that you wouldn't know. Do you guys really think that there are not a lot of players who think that certain things they have to do in Baldur's Gate 3 are annoying? Like, of course people think that. That's just that, of course people think that. People think that about every game. Maybe inventory management? Yeah, I mean, come on. What are we talking about? I'm not saying the game is annoying or it has bad features. That's not what I said. I said that first, like, every game is going to have features in it that, like, for example, like Valheim, for example. Like, Valheim, you can't move ore through a portal. You can't move the motor eggs through a portal either. So that, like, that limitation adds texture to the game, and it makes the game a lot bigger. And so that's, you can and change setting. Okay, so yeah, you're right. If you use a cheat engine and a command prompt code, you can change it. But I'm talking about the base game. You can do that with any game. But my point is that with these kinds of games, those are things that improve the experience. With Diablo, it actively makes it worse.
It is some sort of weird hybrid, right? How has PoE been thinking of trying out? It's a bit too complex for my taste. Someone who prefers saying solo, I don't like PoE much because it's relying on trading due to how complex the game is. The guy's just so stupid. He's just making shit up. What are you on about? It's literally worse with trading. The game's objectively worse with trading.
I think Quinn's wrong about this. Quinn plays the game. It's like his job. Of course he's going to have a different output. Of course, an outlook on it. Like, it's too complex. Well, of course it's not for Quinn because Quinn's played the game for fucking 7 years. He's played it. It's his job to play the game. Of course he's going to have a different viewpoint.
Bro, what is he talking about? I don't like PoE so much because it's over-reliant on trading due to how complex the game is. That is the most brain-dead take I've ever... There's literal, like, fucking multiple versions of SSF. The entire, like, the guy who made the game said the game is best enjoyed solo self-found. Yep, there it is. So the devs actually play the game they create. I seriously doubt they do. Who could actually find such a gameplay loop fun?
Jesus.
If you read the recent interview with the Poet Creator, they said they are all amateur game designers, but they wanted to create a game.
So yeah, he's saying the same thing I was. Yeah,
find it fun.
Exactly.
Recent interview with PoE lead designer also shows they know how the inside game in and out, and you see the passion when they're talking about the game, what sort of experience they want to deliver. I really do not want to hate on the devs, as I believe these instructions from the top make them this way.
I don't care about whose fault it is. I'm just saying, like, the game has just got problems and it's boring. Like, I don't want to go and, like, the next emergency campfire chat, I don't want to have to be like, it's his fault, I know it. We don't really know whose fault it is. We don't know. But, like, it's just the game's not good. The game's not what it should be.
In respecting Game devs will find it so crushing to deliver such a product to the masses. Yeah, this is what I was saying yesterday. The difference between, D4 and PoE and D4 and whatever, a good game and a bad game. Often these large AAA games are not made from a seed of passion or like a really cool idea that a bunch of guys who like gaming had, and they're like, yo, let's make that. It's no, a bunch of suits say, make the fucking next installment of a large AAA game, and we want to earn this much money. And that, like, we're going to hire this many people to program it. And
I do think that the people who are working on the Diablo team, like the actual, like the guy that coded and created the model for Uber Duriel, I bet that guy is really passionate about Diablo. And I think all of the people that are involved with that are very passionate about it.
And these guys, you're going to be running it,
The stash guy,
your job
though.
is to get these guys to, make art. Your job is to make these, and then that's whereas there's a few guys in a basement who have an idea for a really fucking awesome game and they love gaming, and then they start building up and they just make something that they fucking love, and then it grows naturally from there, and it grows into a beautiful fucking tree, like it grows into a beautiful game. Look at this emote, dude.
God,
ご機嫌うるわしゅ
Jesus Christ.
Fucking Pepe is like, please help me. It's like he's looking at.
I think that guy leaked the thing about stash tabs being rendered by everybody on purpose. I think that he knew that it was fucking stupid, and he just couldn't fucking deal with people shitting on him because of how fucking dumb this decision was. So he just mentioned it randomly on a Twitter thread just to prove to everybody, see guys, everybody else in here thinks it's just as fucking stupid as I do. I bet that's why he did it. Dark Urge moment? Yes, there you go. I think that's what happened.
At the camera like that, dude.
Throwing soft shade at devs out naming names. Well, he doesn't even need to throw shade. All he needs to do is just simply say this happened. That's all it takes. Highly plausible. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know how the people at Microsoft aren't going to aren't going to get rid of these guys. Like, how can you not get rid of these guys if this is just so problematic? Quinn beat Uber Maven and solo self on hardcore. That's badass. And Blizzard's completely fired. Yeah, that's why Microsoft fired 1,900 of them. Yeah, that's actually a good point. With more stashes, they need to load everybody else's stashes that are in town. It's so difficult. Yeah. Even Rob said it was mad. That's how bad it is. I mean, I hope they get rid of the people that are just making these bad decisions and that aren't, he should be fired with this performance. It's an unpopular opinion. I think that it's very simple. None of us really know what the metrics for Diablo 4 are, but every single observable third-party metric shows that the game is in a really bad state. And I also don't think that there's any indication of it improving anytime soon. So why would we, think about it from, like, the company's perspective. Like, so you have a game, and you spend millions of dollars on marketing, and then everybody's quitting the game. Why wouldn't you get rid of the people that made the game? Like, what? Of course you would. Like, I mean, what is this? It's common sense, right? I mean, damn. Imagine they made a shit ton of money, though. Oh, yeah, no doubt. But, like, you have to look at, like, the trajectory of the game. Because the only ones that know the game. Yeah, exactly. I forgot Diablo 4 existed, honestly. I've gone back in time to play other games. Yeah. Because then you'd need new people to fix it. Oh, fuck. True. It's hard, bro. Making a game is hard. Like, how can you possibly make a game? It's always leadership that needs to be replaced, not the regular devs. I think that leadership always needs to fall on the sword. They do. Now, is it always leadership's fault? The truth is that the answer is no. It's not always leadership's fault, but it is always leadership's responsibility. Because leadership should have fired the dev before it became a problem. So what you really do is you fire the leadership, you get new leadership, and then the new leadership fires the bad devs. But no, I don't agree that leadership are all wrong and the developers are all right. I don't think it's that simple. I don't think any game is that simple. Okay. Accountability for all the content creators that have conspired to destroy such a great game. Fantastic. The developers of The Day Before. The Day Before, actually, it was the shortest video game ever in existence. It lasted for almost 2 whole days until they announced that not only would the game be shutting down, but also the company would be shutting down for how big of a fuck up it was. So let's go ahead and read their statement. Recently, a lot of misinformation has emerged on the internet, supposedly from anonymous sources. Fantastic provides an official response to these statements. There are anonymous people that allege that we deceived players. They're not anonymous. They're right here. It was me. You deceived players. The trailers were they were deceptive. They were misleading. And the game did not function in the way that it did in the trailer. That's false advertising. That's right. We worked hard and honestly on the game for 5 years. But does anybody care about the work or time that they put into it? No, we don't. We only care about the result, don't we? Man, that sure sounds a lot like something somebody was saying before, huh? That's crazy. We didn't take a penny from users. We didn't use crowdfunding. We didn't offer pre-orders. That part is true, and that part is commendable. Even after the game was closed, we, together with the publisher, returned all money to players, including forcibly issuing refunds to those that did not request them. How many companies return money like that? We are not a fly-by-night company. We have been operating since 2015 and have always conducted our business honestly. Yeah, you, together with the publisher, did it because the publisher was probably going to press charges against you if you didn't. Steam probably forced you to do it. Like really, like Steam is the one that refunded everybody. Like, I'm not going to believe that they refunded everybody's purchase out of the goodness of their heart. I think that they did that in order to avoid a legal liability or to somehow, make Steam happy. Steam is the one that refunded everybody. And so let's go ahead and look at this. We are been operating since 2015 and have always conducted our business honestly. Well, except for whenever you played a trailer for gameplay that didn't exist. That part wasn't honest, but there were other parts besides that were. Like, for example, the game was called The Day Before, and whenever I bought the game, it did have that title in the game. So the title of the game was the same in the trailer and also in the game. So there were some things that were actually the same as the trailer. So, we'll keep that in mind. Anyway, let's see here. Anonymous people allege that we deceived the investor. This is not true. We still have a great relationship with our publisher. Why? The closure of The Day Before did not affect our partnership. That's a bad call, if that's true. If that's true, Mytona really needs to, Young revealed that they are the publisher. The publishers is them. Well, they're referring to Mytona. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, let's go back and look at the rest of this. Anonymous former employees tell different stories about the development. I don't give a fuck. Who made money on The Day Before? Certain bloggers made huge money by creating false content with huge, I wish it said titties, but it says titles, from the very beginning to gain views and followers, exploiting the lack of information about the game's development. The main people that exploited the lack of information about the game's development was the development studio. Whenever they made trailers for the game, that didn't reflect the game. Their actions triggered a gold rush among content creators due to the game's pre-release popularity. So let me go ahead and explain why that's not true. There are probably a lot of people who don't like Palworld, but they're probably not making videos about how bad Palworld is because the overwhelming majority of people do like the game. So content creators don't necessarily create tastes. They are able to capitalize on existing sentiments that exist in the market and maybe shift them 10% one direction or another. That's really the truth. You're not going to have a content creator that's going to be able to take a good game and then make it to where people hate it. That's not the way it works. It's never worked that way. Like, it's just, this is again, like people that don't understand, well, I mean, they don't understand anything. Content creators can't change what the public think. Yeah, they can't. People literally tried that with Hogwarts. Yeah, and it didn't work. You want the bigger crowd. No one made money. You can profit from a standard release. Well, here's the reality, right? Is that, yeah, Quantum made a video about how bad Elden Ring did. How did that do? Not very good. So the idea that there's a gold rush about people trying to make content about the game, like, do you think that I played the game hoping that it would be bad? Why would I do that? Why would I want the game to be bad? In fact, let's listen to what I said. Asmongold the day before. The day before is fake. Let's see what I said. Then I'll read some of the comments about this. He wants to say that what I'm not. I do think this is true. Lost Myrtle. So I expected.
Oh, it's knocking on the door to my baby factory.
Maybe because it's not obviously a scam. And have you ever considered that NVIDIA, one of the biggest like graphics card producers or developers, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm not really sure what the title is. What do you think the odds are that NVIDIA has more information than you do? Like, I don't understand the, I'm defending the game. Because I thought that the accusations were baseless. The arrogance of YouTube commenters thinking that they have the same level of information that NVIDIA does. It's ridiculous. So I actually defended this game because I looked at it and I made an honest judgment on it based off of what I saw. So it's really funny to me that I actually defended the game. I said that this is unfair what people are saying because I do think that the accusations were baseless. They were 100% baseless accusations, aged like milk. No, I don't feel any degree of I don't feel stupid for thinking that. Mike Audio, it's video quality that you play on videos as well? Oh, well, that's actually good to know. Then that means it's probably not my mic. And, yeah. And so anyway, content creators can boost mediocre games, in my opinion. Really? Well, then why is nobody playing Suicide Squad after Shroud's sponsor stream ended? There it is, right? And so I don't think that's true. Anyway, we can talk about that later on, but, that's whatever. My point is this. I was one of the only people who tried to give the game an honest shot and a real chance. And I will do that every time whenever I see something, because especially whenever I see everybody shitting on it for what I believe to be something that I don't think is substantial. So this better not be about me. I was fucking fair. I was the only person who was... the game's not out yet? Oh, really? I didn't know that yet. I'm sure whenever it comes out, it'll be huge. Anyway, so yeah. Why do they say that the release game is not the same as in the trailer, and why was the game closed? We implemented everything shown in the trailers. From home improvements to the detailed world and off-road vehicles, we only disabled a few minor features, like parkour, due to bugs. Remember the experiment where you're asked to count pink objects in a room and recall the blue ones? You won't remember any. It's all about focus. The negative bias instilled by certain bloggers making money on hate-affected perceptions of the game. Look at unbiased gameplay like Dr. Disrespect's stream at release. Despite the initial bugs and server issues, he liked the game, which we fixed later, and the game received improved reviews over the weekend. Unfortunately, the hate campaign had already inflicted significant damage. By the way, after sales closed, many people wrote us that bloggers had deceived them and they liked the game, and they asked for access. We also heard that petitions were created to continue development, and on the black market, the game's price exceeded $200, and some even decided to make their own mods. So, X to doubt. Well, I don't know if that happened or not. Is there a second? Okay, so this is just in another language. So the game wasn't the same as the trailers. Now you can say these are minor focuses and minor things, but if you have a lot of minor things, it becomes a major thing. And so, I mean, I don't really know what you want me to say. Doc's very critical. I mean, I tried to enjoy the game. It wasn't an MMO open world like they stated. Yeah, it wasn't. And also, didn't they change the titling for the video, like halfway through their videos, to like call the game something totally different? Bad game was different. Yeah, it was bad. So sad. Yeah. People are not... So, you have to understand that content creators aren't going to be able to change people's opinion if people like the game. That's just not how it works. Content creators want early access to create content for their viewers. They'll be polite to publishers if they achieve earlier access. Well, I don't know. It depends on what happens. It's everybody else's fault that we put out a bad game. So, like, what they're doing really is they're insulting the intelligence of all the people that played the game and saying that the only reason why those people didn't like the game is because content creators and bloggers told them not to like it. Like, you're all really stupid, and the game was actually great, but those bloggers kept mind controlling you into thinking that our game was bad. Like, it's such a fucking ridiculously stupid thing to say. I can't even believe this even exists. Fantastic deleted and reposted this because it got community noted. The community note called them a scam. Is that true? I want to see the picture. Oh, so they deleted it to avoid community notes. Their claim that the finished product had only had minor changes from the original release trailer is a blatant lie, as demonstrated in this video. The game was a scam by every measurable metric. Okay, so that's just about right. So they deleted and reposted it because of the people that were mad at them and getting community noted. Making the same post to dodge the community note you rightfully deserved. Can't you just put a community note on the other one? I mean, like, fuck. I mean, it's not really that hard, right? Go back to this, please. We're closing. Yeah, I thought you guys closed the company. Like, why isn't the company closed? Why is there anybody still working at this company? This company's full of clowns. It's crazy, man. They lie about their game, and now they lie about closing the studio. Yeah, like, who's even making this? Like, why do you even have a Twitter and a Facebook if you close the studio? Like, I feel like at this point, like, these people are not to be trusted at all. And, you know, like, if they ever make a good game, you know, I'll be ready for it. I'll be waiting, and I'll give it a fair shake. I will. But I've got a really good feeling that's not going to happen, especially after reading this. And the truth is that, again, they're insulting the intelligence of all of their players by thinking that the reason why people didn't like the game is because of bloggers saying it was bad. What a stupid fucking thing to say. That's such a just absolutely brain-dead fucking thing to say. You're reposting the same thing so you don't get community noted because you're a fucking scam, and then you say everything that people don't like about the game is a minor change. The entire foundation of the game was massively different. Every asset in the game, sorry, not every asset in the game, almost every asset in the game seemed to be from an asset shop, including the entire city that you play the whole game in. It's crazy. How can these people possibly think that anybody, like, how can they think people are so stupid? Most streamers and content creators have more to gain if a game is good and popular. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. Like, I'll give you an example. So, Pal World. So this is a game that's good. This is a VOD. It's an hour and 40-minute VOD. It has over 500,000 views. This is from 1 day ago. It has 1 million views. This is 250K views. 591,000 views. Do you want to know why? It's because the game is good. Let's go look at Asmongold the day before. Let's look at the gameplay from there. I tried the game. It has 500k views. It's one video. That's it. So we're going to go ahead and play this game. I got a lot of people talking about this game. I feel like this game kind of has like a, you know, it's got like an uphill battle, right? Because like it's kind of the same game in a way as Pal World. It's obviously a lot different, but it has some of the same similarities. And so I'm like, you know, it kind of sucks, you know, whenever you bring out a game and, you know, there's another really big game. It's kind of what happened with like Dragon's Dogma 1 whenever Skyrim came out, because they came out like right at the same time. So I want to play this game and like really kind of give it a little bit of a try and see what it's like. Create character. Okay, preset. So we got standard white guy, white girl, black guy, black girl, Asian guy, Asian girl. Okay, I think I'll probably be a white guy. I'm gonna really kind of try to change things up today, okay? And hair, let's see what hair we've got. Scroll down. I don't think there is a scroll. Oh, there is. Okay, so you got old white guy. Oh, okay, okay. All right. Why'd she lose her hair? Oh. Damn. I feel like neither of these really matter. We're just gonna stick with this and move forward, okay? Yeah, this is decent, right? Maybe he's too pale. No, I think I like this one better. Okay. And for hair, we've got obviously bald, tied back, Killmonger, almost kind of like Wake, but not really. Samurai. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Well, that's almost cool. All right, the traditional... Oh, wow, it looks like fucking garbage. Okay, no, I don't have that. Oh, that one's okay. We might go with this. That's for girls. No. No. Nope. Bro, it looks like a fucking, like a Wall Street banker from the 80s. No, I don't like that one. This one's okay. No. Hedgehog? Yeah. No. 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 No, I don't think so. Okay. Jesus, what the hell is this? All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna go with... I'm thinking we just go with something pretty simple. I think we just go with like this. No, I don't like this. What about this? I kind of had hair like this when I was like 20. I had a lot more hair then, right? When I was 20 versus fucking 33. So yeah, I think we're just gonna stick with this. This seems fine with me. No, we're not doing bald. Next, hair color. Okay, we really got a lot of decisions here. Okay, that's, I guess, good enough. Beard, okay. All right, here we go. This is important. Okay. I'm probably just gonna go with that, to be honest. I mean, this looks pretty accurate, right? Okay, Amish, Schlatt, divorced dad, lead singer of Disturbed, Civil War general, Satanist temple preacher, Confederate Civil War lieutenant, Escanor, Colonel Sanders, the devil, homeless man after 2 weeks. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. All right, what's the color for the beard? I think this is actually pretty accurate. Yeah, this is good, because I have kind of a lighter beard. Yeah, this is good enough. That's how it's gonna be next year if I keep getting Twitter threads about myself. Actually, probably more like this. Name. Character 1. I think we're just call him Asmongold. Alrighty. And let's create our character in the world of Enshrouded. Ooh.
Long ago, a wanderer brought an enthralling gift to the people of Embervale.
What was it?
The elixir. It was a cure, a blessing, a weapon.
Okay.
Once concealed by the ancients, its might had been set free. With it came power, mistrust, and a longing for more.
Like Dark Souls.
Humanity dug the elixir wells, ripping apart the land and each other to quench their thirst.
So it's like oil?
Elixir and blood. A drop for a drop.
They just kill each other over oil, bro. Like, where's the bomb?
From the depths of the wells, an unforeseen curse crept into Embervale.
It's global warming.
The shroud, a ruinous fog which sought only to spread and devour.
Damn.
Facing their downfall, ancients and humans united to forge the Flameborn.
Is that me?
Now, your time has come. Awake.
I'm the Flameborn? Cool. Oh fuck, I'm in the game. Okay, so we've got our traditional stamina bar right here. Space bar is jump. We have roll as control. And we have shift as a go fast thing. And we have our basic attacks. Our attacks actually don't consume stamina. Okay. Cinder Vault. Commune with the flame. You've slumbered for too long, Flameborn. The realm of Embervale has fallen, consumed by the shroud. Now, the alluring flame calls for you. Find a place in the ruined world and construct a flame altar to create